Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great start of the week so far, and welcome to this new video. On Bitcoin, which overnight, I mean, this is the 4-hour time frame, so you cannot really see the extent of the move. But overnight, we had a pretty good move, as you can see. Yesterday evening, I think we also got some positive news regarding the tariffs, or at least the tariff situation between the US and China. And yesterday, but we spoke about that, we also got some positive economic data. So ultimately, as you can see from the stock market as well, pre-market since yesterday, we have gone up slightly, even though for the last, last 8 hours at least, we've also pulled back, right? So ultimately, look, the equity markets are in an uptrend. And the correlation between these and Bitcoin, you know, it's sometimes it's a little bit tricky, right? This last move up, for example, that Bitcoin had, which is quite relevant, and we'll talk about that, was not really seen across the pre-market, I would say, or at least it was to a lesser extent. But all right, doesn't matter. Ultimately, that's still an uptrend. But like I said, Bitcoin at this point in time is kind of doing its own thing. So yeah, yesterday, or at least overnight, we had a good move up. Now it looks like we are fully reversing the entire move, and quite a lot of altcoins are also following that. Bitcoin dominance is also moving up slightly here. As you can see, Bitcoin is one of the best performing assets. That's one of the best ways you can see that. However, I still do not think that this move that we had, and the fact that we are reversing it completely right now, or at least it looks like that, I do not think that's too bad. I mean, in the end, we had quite a strong resistance level right here with a 7-day rolling VWAP. And that's also, in my opinion, the main level that we need to break above if we actually want to rally again. Because I do think, and I'll show you a couple of reasons for why I think that. I do think we can actually turn this momentum we had since yesterday into more bullish momentum, and into a potential move into 107, 108 again. In general, first of all, Tuesday is historically a much better day for Bitcoin. This is Ethereum, but for Bitcoin than Monday. Monday is usually a little bit bearish. Tuesday into Thursday, those have been the best days in the last month. So that is already quite exciting. Then, like I said, equities are still on an uptrend. We still have a Coinbase Bitcoin premium as well. So that's great, although that doesn't always matter. But it's, I mean, you would much rather have a premium than a discount. And then there's a couple of things. First of all, we've broken above the 30-day rolling VWAP, right? And it seems like that serves more as support than resistance, even though it has served as both in the last couple of days. So that's good news. Then second of all, we left some major imbalances with that move up. Overnight that we have to fill, right? So in a sense, after hitting that major resistance level, it's quite logical that we get a relatively deep pullback. But as long, and for that I'm going to look at the TPO, as long as we're holding this level right here around 105,000, which at this point of time we still are, even though it's barely holding, but still at this point of time we still are, then that's good news. That means that there's some sort of a shift in balance. And then on the higher time frames, like I said, again, we're holding the 30-day rolling VWAP quite nicely. But on the 12-hour time frame, we've also reclaimed the trend as bullish. Daily trend, by the way, has been bullish still. So then we still have the 4-hour trend, which is serving as resistance, but ultimately there are some signs of strength and some signs of momentum. Now the big question is all right, well, can we, like we have seen in the last month, can we get new momentum again on Tuesday, right? And historically that has happened a little bit later, as you can see, very often during the US session. So I think that's going to be crucial over the course of the later part of today. And for now, it's most important that we'll hold this level right here between 105,000 and 104.6. So that's where what I'm monitoring mostly right now. At this point of time, I would say it's slightly more likely that we will be able to hold that level, and that we will also be able to get a move back into 107,000. And then the reaction to that level, and whether we're going to be able to break above the 7-day rolling VWAP, for example, that's going to determine the strength afterwards, and whether we can actually get into an uptrend again, or that it's more likely we're going to get into a consolidation. That I will keep you updated on. I mean, it's too early to say that. And if we do not see a strong reaction here from 105,000, then I will assume that we will consolidate like we have been doing in the last 3 days, basically since the weekend. But for now, like I said, I have a slight bias towards this. So that's what I'm going to end this video on. For now, thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.